and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of The Wrestling Realm. Now, on today's special episode, the real Dwayne Allen and Mr. Main Event BDuB are going to bring to you some of the greatest cage matches, our top 5 cage matches. So,
before we get started,
okay,
let me go ahead and say something real fast to the fans. Let me make something perfectly clear to anyone who ever watches this video out there in the wrestling realm. Mr. Main Event and the Real Dwayne are the only ones who determine what makes this show successful. So if you out there and you have something to say about the success of the show and how we determine the success of the show, you need to sit back, enjoy yourself, and be a fan and engage in a conversation in which we provide to everyone else who thinks the same way with the intelligence and the mind of the business. Now that we've gotten that cleared up, let's start the show.
Woo! Somebody lighted a fire in you.
It is what it is.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't had a chance, make sure you go out and get a copy of the WWE's greatest cage matches. So, and I'm pretty sure there's other cage matches out there. We're going to go over some of our favorites. Sit back, relax. Real Dwayne Allen, go ahead and shoot.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have our top 5 cage matches. Feel free to upload your favorite cage matches to the Wrestling Run page. We want to hear what you think. This is why we're here. These are just our top 5. We don't think these are the top 5 of all time, but we're wrestling fans. We're discussing our favorites, which is what we want you guys to do with us. Discuss your favorites. Feel free to chime in at whatever point. Tweet us, put us on Facebook, whatever you got to do. Upload a video if you have to. We can put it on our page or whatever we got to do. But we're going to get into it. So let's start it off. Top 5 cage matches. My number 5 would be I'm going to start the show off controversial. Not necessarily controversial in the way of the business, but controversial in the way I do things.
Okay.
And it is a TNA cage match. It's from TNA's Lockdown 2009. Sting versus Mick Foley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Wow, 2 cougars, old birds.
Yeah, but see, and the reason I like this match so much is because I don't care what promotion you're in. It's still Sting. It's still Mick Foley.
Yeah, I like it.
And even though these guys are older and maybe past their prime, these guys pulled out the stops for this match. It was a good match. I enjoyed it from start to finish. Lagged at times, but for a cage match at their age, for this day and age, for TNA to provide what they would call at the time the 6 sides of steel was a pretty good cage match in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That is my number 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but it must have been a good match and made his list. So my number 5 is a match that was on Monday Night Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship. This match, the title did change hands, and it did it in a very creative way. And I'm sitting there watching it, and I personally didn't think that I was going to get my wish during this match where the title would change hands.
What you talking about?
Let me get there. I'm
sitting like, what? What is
but yeah, I was sitting there watching it, and then I even went back and watched it a couple of weeks ago.
It's a cage match?
This is a cage match. Monday Night Raw.
Let's see what it is.
December 2008.
Okay.
And that was between Chris Jericho and Batista. The man who, Chris Jericho being, who I've said is the number 6 most impactful wrestler in WWE history.
Okay.
But yeah, Jericho beating Batista. You remember, for those of you who saw the match, Jericho took a piece of the cage
metal, on top
and
of
just
the
kept beating Batista. And you see the animal Batista, all of a sudden he falls off the cage and he's sitting there looking like, I just lost my title. And that just goes to show you how intelligent Jericho is with that finish.
Right.
And how great he is, and how he just, he tamed the animal that night.
Definitely.
And I've gone on to say this time and time again, I do think that Chris Jericho's Intercontinental title reigns were better than his world title reigns. However, I will admit that I like a lot of his finishes. The way he comes up with remember when he won the title at Unforgiven after him and Shawn Michaels had a hellacious match, and then he came out there. CM Punk couldn't perform,
Okay.
And then Jericho would go ahead and win the title, and he's sitting up there holding it like this.
I know, right? Yeah.
You know. So that's my number 5.